Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. It's England against Latvia, the last of the international breaks, hopefully. We're very excited to get the real football back. Premier League, Bundesliga, Champions League, it's all coming back very, very soon. Well done. You have got through this international break and we can sit back and watch England play Latvia. Oh my God. I mean, this is a treat in itself. There's trees. I mean, I've never seen a ground like it. I've never seen a ground like it. There's a running track and trees on one side. I mean, it's just incredible. Incredible. I mean, I've never... More trees than people, says Crackers. It's great for oxygen. This ground is incredible. It really is. Yeah. I mean, I probably have seen a ground like it, but... yeah, madness. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I was just thinking there, we should do some pet hates on the show. Could be 1-0 to England already. Harry Kane, offside. Saka. Kane's in the net and so's the ball, but Saka beating the offside trap, but not beating the offside trap there with the ball over the top. Yeah, lovely ball over the top. Yeah, 3 of them offside there. Good defensive line. It is crazy if you're not watching it live. There's this massive green bit of thing behind the goal. And then all down the side, there's trees. I mean, do Latvia not have a proper pitch? Interesting. Appreciate you, Mark, says Judge. Thank you very much for your super chat. You're the first one of the night. Appreciate you. And yeah, let's go through the England team, actually, because I haven't read that out either. Well, it's on the screen there. You should be able to read it. But yeah, what I do like about Thomas Tuchel is that he does go quite strong. He doesn't have a lot of time. He has to try and win the World Cup. So Pickford in goal, Spence, Stones, Konza, Lewis Skelly, Anderson and Rice again, Rodgers ahead of them, Saka, Gordon, Kane. And I think he is trying to build rhythm. I think that's really important. You know, we sometimes get rotational international breaks and international managers. But I think, you know what? Tuchel's got to try and build a club mentality. And the best way to do that is to get rhythm going through the side. So Rashford's on the bench. Dean Henderson's on the bench. Jordan Henderson. Gehi's on the bench. I mean, I would have thought, is Gehi not a starter? I don't know. I mean, there are players to come back. Obviously, Cole Palmer. He'd be part of this team. Jude Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I like it. I like the fact that he's building some rhythm. I really, really do. Anderson is the new improved Calvin Phillips, as Ollis. I like him. I like him. Luke Mason says, I like the fact that he dropped Bellingham to prove that because a player is considered world-class, they aren't guaranteed game time. Do you think he did drop Bellingham then? I mean, I'll put my hands up, but I don't really care about international football unless it's the Euros or the World Cup. So I don't really take any notice of England squads apart from to moan about Jordan Henderson being in there ahead of Adam Wharton. I mean, I literally just wait for it to come out and then just tweet, what's Henderson doing there? You know, honestly, that's the truth. But I thought Bellingham was coming back from an injury, so he'd been left out. There. Right. Cheers, everyone. I think have England qualified for the World Cup already? Probably not. Probably not. If you want an honest answer, we've got 16 points, and there's still 2 games to go. So I mean, Albania could catch us if we don't lose tonight. We've qualified for the World Cup. Don't take it for granted. Sweden are in big trouble. Yeah, we're 1 win away. Win tonight and we're there. Lovely. Beats by 94 says it's a huge stadium you're playing in. And biggest pet hate is idiots pulling out in front of you in a hurry and then slowing down. Either drive on or F off, says Evan Whelan. Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. Happens a lot as well. England just pinging it around a bit here. I also think, you know, when you're driving along, not necessarily on a motorway, you know, it could be in a, you know, a town and somebody's right up your arse. Like they're right on your bumper. And I think we've all thought it. If I hit the brakes, you're going to hit me and it's going to be your fault. I mean, I'd never do it. I couldn't be arsed. But the point is, like, you wouldn't walk behind somebody that close, would you? I mean, their nose is, you know, literally right up your arse. But yeah, I know what you mean, mate. People... You can see them coming as well as you're driving towards a roundabout or driving down a road and you can see the junction. You'll go, don't do it, don't. I am a commentary driver as well. I do a, well, probably not a surprise when you think about what I'm doing here, but when I'm driving on my own, and even with people, it can be quite entertaining, you know, that I will commentate and I'll be driving along and you can see them and you'll go, don't pull out. I'm doing a steady 30 on a 30. And if you pull out, I've got to slow down. And my theory is, if you are turning on to a busy road, if you've got to make that car slow down, you shouldn't be doing it. You're endangering everybody. But they'll do it. I love the ones who pull out quick and then slow down, like you say. Love from Armenia. We're playing Ireland, says Mika. Well, let me just tell you about the World Cup qualifiers, because there are scenarios going on tonight that could make for interesting reading, and we will keep you up to date on all of them. But well, I say I'll keep you up to date on all of them. I've got to be ready to do it first. Latvia have done all right. England. Gordon. Oh, you'd fancy Kane to score there. Anthony Gordon with a good cross. Harry Kane, he's on fire at the moment, but that wasn't quite a goal. Tuchel can't believe it. But good play by Anthony Gordon. Yeah, so Germany and Slovakia, I don't think they're playing tonight, but they're both on 9 points with Germany top. They've still got 2 games to go. So I presume they might be playing tomorrow in that group. You've got Switzerland and Kosovo top of the other group, Group B. Denmark and Scotland are top of Group C. That's going to be close. France are top of their group with Ukraine. Spain and Turkey. Spain are top of that group. Portugal and Hungary. I mean, Ireland could come second, couldn't they? Playing Armenia tonight. But they're bottom of that group at the moment, Ireland, and they're at home to Armenia. So they've got a slight chance. Latvia on the attack here. Netherlands and Poland. Netherlands top by 3. Austria and Bosnia. Austria are top by 2. Norway and Italy. Italy looking like they're going to get second place because Norway have qualified. Belgium and North Macedonia, it's closed. Wales are still in that as well. England, Albania, as we know. We should be all right. We just need to get a result tonight there too. What? Oh, I know what I've done now. You bloody idiot, mate. You're a bloody idiot, mate. You've lost your live chat, and you know. What do you think you're bloody doing? Actually, it's been quite a decent game, this, so far. He's grotesquely big. I'm not talking about a player, it's just something somebody's just sent me. And I'm not going to tell you who I'm talking about. Right, I've got my live chat back now. There we go. Who do you think will be United's left back? Sorry, not United. Who do you think will be England's left back in the World Cup? I feel like there's a name that should jump out. Who's going to be England's left back in the World Cup? It can't be Luke Shaw. It can't be Luke Shaw. He can't do it anymore. I think there's 2 lads at Newcastle could do it. Lewis Hall, Lewis Skelly. Can't be Leighton Baines. No, sorry, not Lewis Skelly. There's 2 lads at Newcastle, Livramento and Lewis Hall. There's also Lewis Skelly. What about O'Reilly at Man City? I mean, I actually do think he's decent. I really do think he's very, very decent. Spencer's got a chance to put the cross in. It's going to be a foul. No, yeah. It says play on. Dan says, I hope your day was as lovely as you are. Thank you, Dan. Hope you had a good day. And Liam Vernon says, do you think if Tuchel picks the right team, he can actually win the World Cup? I don't expect England to win the World Cup, but I look at the squads and I think the development, I mean, Anderson's just gone for a shot here. Quite a good technique, but over the bar. It won't be the Harry Kanes and the Declan Rices and the John Stones that win this World Cup, or the Sackers. It will be the Morgan Rogers, the Anthony Gordon, the Lewis Skelly, the Gahey, the Anderson. It will be those players, because you need more than 5. So if those players can step up, we can. I have hope that Tuchel gets it. Harry Kane is an amazing striker, but for me, in an England shirt over the last 3 or 4 years, I've actually wanted to drop him, and he's irritated me because he drops off so much. But I actually quite like it with Morgan Rogers because he runs past him. And Anthony Gordon and Saka run past him. So, and Rashford will run past him as well. So as long as we've got players that will run past Harry Kane, it might bloody work. It might do. The question will be, is there a team in the World Cup that's just the dog's bollocks like Spain were in the Euros? That'll be the problem. And where another thing that I like about Tuchel is that I think that it comes down to this nepotism. He shouldn't do it. Hopefully he won't do it. Because that's a big problem. Good evening, Mark. What's your favourite Harry Potter film? You know what? I've never read the Harry Potter books. And everybody says they're better than the films. I've only ever watched the films. Azkaban. Yeah, Azkaban. Mark, God put too much hotness when creating you, says Zuta. What's wrong with people tonight? Why are people taking the piss out of my looks? Who have England got next? You've done well out of me to get me to do 2 international watch-alongs in the international break. I don't normally bother. They've got Serbia on the 13th of November and then Albania on the 16th of November. Both World Cup qualifiers. I mean, yeah. Look, I hope Tuchel takes them seriously, but we should be qualified after tonight. Pet hates people being late. That's a dig at me. I am late a lot. Even for this tonight, I was a little bit late. I'll own up to that. Thing is, I never used to be like that. Zuta says, I said you're hot. How is that taking a shot? I was being sarcastic, mate. Maybe it doesn't travel. Yeah, I am late a lot. I'll own that one. So England are playing. That's a weird one. England are playing on a Sunday and a Thursday. It's quite a quick turnaround. We're playing Thursday, Sunday in November. Shame they're not playing on the Saturday because that could have been on my charity stream. Although we have got the Ben Eubank fight. Put it in your diaries, 15th of November, all-day charity stream. We do it every year. Thanksgiving's coming round again, isn't it? I want to go to someone's house for Thanksgiving. All the food looks really good. Roast turkey, ham, potatoes, stuffing, vegetables, cranberry sauce, bread, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, apple pie. It's my kind of food. Pensby lad says, if Liverpool lose to Manchester United, is the league gone for us? I mean, I wouldn't have thought so. There's a propensity for Liverpool to go on a good run at some point. I'm absolutely convinced. You know, it worries me. Bundesliga player you would bring in the England squad, says Shady. Kimmich. I rate Kimmich. Elise. They're all Bayern Munich players, aren't they? Luis Diaz. You know, these are all very, very good players. Is there a player outside of Bayern Munich I'd bring into an England squad? England starting 11. I think that's hard. I mean, Dortmund are a good side. Frankfurt have got some good players. I think the best players in the Bundesliga play for Bayern Munich. I think there will be another wave of good players. Certainly some good players at Frankfurt. Are you confident for the game on Sunday, says Daniel? I'm looking forward to it. I personally am probably more confident than some United fans. But, you know, it's... I've seen United go there not fancied before and get a 0-0 draw. I can see it being a draw. I can see it being a draw, yeah. People closing car doors with too much force drives me up the wall, says Alex. Oh, sorry. I wonder what he was talking about there. Oh, we're talking about things that annoy you. Yeah. Well, as I said, 0-0 here after 20 minutes. England have looked quite good. Latvia are a decent side. It's in a very interesting ground. And I'm enjoying spending the evening with you. But I think people are generally just loud on purpose these days. Here we go. Oh, no, his ball's gone out. Saka, blocked shot anyway. I walked into a pub a couple of weeks ago and there was a load of people like sort of round the bar and it was quite a mix of people, like age-wise, I don't know whether they were one big family. I don't think they were. I think they were just a bunch of people who sort of knew each other. Oh my God, they're so bloody loud. I felt like going, why are you 10 metres away from them? They're all sort of round the bar having a chat. And I was like, it's not your fucking pub. Turns out it was. But the point is, like, they were just loud. And they knew they were being loud. They could have been closer together and took the decibel points down a little bit. And it was just, and it was I was just sat there with the lads and I said, you know what? They're doing it on purpose. Nobody's that not that self-aware. And I just think people are loud. Does it annoy you as much as me when you park up in an empty car park and someone parks right next to you? Keep up the good work. Love it, says Jonathan. Well, I don't know whether this is a man thing because my missus always has a go at me. But if I'm driving into a car park, she goes mad because I will drive past loads of spots that she would take and then reverse into a space that she says is ridiculous. And I've always done that. I think part of it's impatience. I'll go past the space I probably should go in and I'll go, oh, it's too late now. There'll be another one. Then I'll see another one and it's too late now. And then I'll panic and start going, I'm just going to take the next one no matter what. And it'll be a really difficult space. And that's the story of my life, really. I will miss a couple of good opportunities and then take the worldie. And that's what I do. I don't do it on purpose, Liam. I really don't. You should see. I mean, the space I'll take is between two cars that are over the lines. So you basically can't get out your car. It's something I've done for years. It pisses her off, and yeah. I mean, I suppose how you park your car in a car park says a lot about you. Some people just take the first opportunity they get. Some people wait for a better opportunity. It doesn't come, and then you have to work harder. And I think I'm probably that. Salah versus Isak and Ekatike to tear United a new one on the 19th. Eric Ten Hag record is there to be broken. It's been 2 years. I smell fear in the fan base. Says Ola. What fan base? Your fan base? I don't know who you support. Sounds like you're a Liverpool fan. Trust me, mate. I'm not scared of Liverpool. You can win because United are massively inconsistent, but I've got a feeling we'll get a point. I think the pressure's on Liverpool. And I think it's difficult to bounce back when all your players are on international duty. I think you'll go into that game a little bit... Well, you're not going to be well coached. Let's put it that way. So, yeah. Max says, when was the Ukrainian team at its peak, if ever? I don't remember them ever being at their peak. I remember them having that guy, was it Rubic, who played for Spurs, and Shevchenko, and a guy with a ponytail. I think he played for Liverpool at one point. Was it Voronin? But I don't remember them ever being that good. Rohan says, the England squad shows EPL strength, depth and variety. Villa, Everton, Forest, Newcastle all represented outside the so-called Big Six. Yeah, it's good, Rohan. Absolutely. Ezzy says, my mate's dad is Shevchenko, no joke. He's got to be one of the most disappointing Premier League signings. I mean, I'm probably a little bit different. I think that's an understatement. But no, because I'm a certain age, I think there's a certain football fan out there, and we're talking general football fan here. There's a certain football fan out there that is, that likes to see good quality players coming into the Premier League. And for me, the reason for it goes back to people like Zola and Klinsmann. Because I remember the Premier League / English League when we didn't have decent players, not many foreign players, and we do have that now. And it sort of started around. Funnily enough, it all started around the '94 World Cup. After the '94 World Cup, there was a real influx of, I mean, I say an influx, you'd say it was a trickle now, but it was massive then. You had Klinsmann, Petrescu, Dimitrescu. Yeah, that was when foreign players started coming into the Prem. So I've always been appreciative, like, you know, like this year when Voltemada goes to Newcastle. I think that's exciting, even though I'm not a Newcastle fan. When Zola went to Chelsea, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And Vialli at Chelsea and Hullet and people like that. So I found that really exciting. So Shevchenko, Latvia just on the attack here. A crap pass. So Shevchenko was a player I was really excited about when he went to Chelsea, but yeah, I don't know what it was. Like when Falcao went to United, it was the injury. It was the knee injury. Anthony Gordon, good goal. I'm clapping like a seal. That is why he's playing ahead of Rashford. It's as simple as that. I mean, I think Rashford can score that goal. Definitely. In many ways, it's an Anthony Gordon goal, but in many ways, Rashford could score that as well. But it's a brilliant goal. Brilliant goal by Gordon. And, you know, that bodes well for England and Newcastle going into the rest of the season. Lovely ball. Out on the right side. He's got no right to do what he does here. Cuts inside, bang, bottom corner. Delightful finish. And England are good for 1-0 here. It's a weird stand behind the goal as well. It's like stops halfway. It's like half a stadium here. Gordon's alive, says Carlo. What a film. Zuta says, so you're the Bruno of parking cars. Got it. Yeah, 1-0 to England here. Who got the assist? John Stones, according to Ray. Yeah, so I don't know why Shevchenko didn't work out. But then again, maybe it's the same reason as now. The Italian league is not as quick as the Prem. Maybe it was too quick for him. Latvia on the attack. That's a good cross, but easily dealt with. England are always, I said this on the last game, England are always good in this middle international break. That's why I thought we had a good chance again in the Qatar World Cup, because I think England are at their best in the first, you know, before Christmas. I think by the end of the season we're knackered. No winter break as well. Vidden says, do you watch any game with the commentators on? No. I can't remember the last time. Oh, good chance there. They're trying to get a handball, Latvia. Looked like he blocked it. Cross came in. He did a little flick. It hit an England player, but looked to me like it hit his leg. They're not appealing much here. So Meta Mashes in the chat. He says handball, but it'd be nice to see a replay. Odie says Gordon's growing his hair out. He's going to Madrid. Yeah, we're not going to get it's ITV, isn't it? Oh, ITV coverage is shit. I mean, I always think, right, we're basically watching a guy waiting to take a corner. It always amazes me. Who is the producer going, it's a bit boring this, isn't it? Waiting for a guy to take a corner. We don't get to see the bloody replay. No, we don't need to see that thing we were waiting for. I'd much rather I'd much rather the camera was on the guy waiting to take the corner while we waited for the decision. You know, don't show us it, will you? Knobheads. Who was the only player from the 90s that never played in the Prem that you thought would have impacted the league in a positive way, says Luke. In the 90s? Zidane. I think there was quite a few in the 90s. Del Piero would have been nice to see him play in the Prem. There was a lot of players that didn't play in the 90s. Maldini, yeah, good one. Batistuta. Batistuta would have done well. We still haven't seen whether it was a handball or not. I mean, you know what? I know it's a minor thing, but it makes me want to bang my hand on the table, which I just did. Like, why can't I see a replay of that? So fucking annoying. It really pisses me off. I just hate bad production. Yeah, some good suggestions coming in there. Totti. That's an ex-Italian footballer, by the way. Oh, there we go. I think that is a handball by Konza. I think it is a handball. I think that is a penalty. I can't believe they haven't given that. Got away with that a little bit. I don't know what VAR is doing there. I genuinely think that is a penalty because as it goes past him, his arm's there and he sort of moves his arm. I think that was a penalty. Doesn't really matter. Gattuso in the Premier League would have been fantastic, Gene. Great shout there. Well done. Well done. Pat yourself on the back. I'd love to see Messi in the Prem. I know that's not the 90s. But yeah, I would love to have seen Messi in the Prem. Ronaldinho, another good one as well. Niche question. Do you have a favourite team goal? Says Matthew. My favourite team goal is the Brazil goal, 1970. Was it against Italy? My granddad, who got me into football really, used to have these VHS videos. And it's funny, I was thinking about the 80s last night. I got sent a picture of me in my school winning team when I was it's probably just 16, final year at school, and it got me really nostalgic, and I started thinking back to that was 1996, so I was thinking only 8 years before that was 1988, and I was thinking about all that sort of stuff. I got really quite happy but sad nostalgia, I think. Anyway, my point is, he had a lot of these videos that you could buy from, like, it wouldn't have been Blockbuster back then, Video Magic, I don't know what it was called. And you could buy 101 great goals. There was a video on the Brazil 1970 side. I've seen that goal. There's two goals, if you're of a certain age, that just stand out to me, that I've seen loads of times. And if you, I think I'd say if you're under 30, you've probably hardly ever seen these goals. But if you're over 30 and you remember VHS tapes, you've probably seen these goals loads. One's an FA Cup goal on what can only be described as a farmer's ploughed field. It was muddy as anything. I mean, the pitch looked like a chocolate cake. It was absolutely blasted. Ronnie Radford. Search Ronnie Radford goal. It is just ridiculous. In fact, I'm going to watch it now. We should do this more often because we've all got another browser. So let me just get videos up. I'd love to put it up on the screen, but I can't. But so let me go with this. So yeah, Ronnie Radford. I think he was playing for Fulham at the time. John Motson is yeah, so he wins a tackle on the halfway line. The pitch is bloody terrible. He plays a 1-2, gets laid off to... It's a bloody great goal. It is. It is a cracker. It is a cracker. I think it got voted the best ever FA Cup goal because it was a giant-killing one as well in the 1970s. Ronnie Radford. Who'd have thought we would... Oh, Ronnie Pickering! Ronnie Pickering. Yeah. Search Ronnie. It was for Hereford. There we go, Clive. Ronnie Radford. Hereford goal. Brilliant goal. But I've also seen the Brazil 1970 goal. I can't remember who scores it. Is it Josinho? No. Was it Carlos Alberto who actually managed them? Brazil 1970 team goal. Carlos Alberto. Yeah, it was Carlos Alberto who went on to manage them. Yeah, Zico scored an absolute cracker as well. Yeah, that was a great goal by Brazil. I think, isn't it Pele who just lays it off to him and he just runs onto it and hits it with the outside of his foot? Cape Verde and South Africa have just qualified for the World Cup. How much of this World Cup will you watch, considering the quality of the team, says Luke. Every other World Cup, we've done every single game as a watch-along. I actually think it's too big. I've heard that said to me a lot of times. But I'm talking about the World Cup here. I think there's too many games for this World Cup to watch them all, which is a shame. I think FIFA have gone too far. It's great for all the countries that are in it, and we might get a few shocks, but I think there's going to be too many games. Yeah. Good question, Matthew. Get the questions in. I like to treat the international break as a backdrop to the conversation we're having, and we're having a good one. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Jamar says, what's happened to Ireland? This has to be the worst team in 30 years. I remember when Ireland were decent. I grew up with them decent. Declan Rice slips it into Gordon. Goal kick. I think that was a corner. Oh, they're wankers. Absolute wankers, those people. I don't know how they... In some ways, I respect the... Well, is it confidence or arrogance or just selfishness? You know when you get on a bus or you get on a train and it's busy? The people who sit there in their seat but next to them put their bag there. And a lot of people do this. A lot of people do this. Some of you in this chat will do this. I was brought up with manners, and it's just not in me to do it. I feel awkward doing it, but some people love doing it. They love doing it. You get on a busy train, and you'll see people sat in a chair, and then next to it, they put their bag. And it's almost like they think they've got a right to not have somebody sit next to them. I'm more than happy to tell them to move their bag, and they do it with a huff. I feel like saying to them, "Oh, you're a big fan of Three Pigs and the Wolf, are you?" But yeah, that is, yeah. It's a weird one, but in some way, I respect the fact that they do get away with it a little bit as well. Some people don't do anything about it. How Curtis said he had that on a plane. How do you do that on a plane? Because surely you get... I've not been on a plane in years. Where you don't have a designated seat. Joshua T says, when's the next Going for Goldbridge or Christmas video coming out? Well, I'm not going to do a Christmas video in October. When do I ever do a Christmas video? If my kitchen ever gets done, I might do a live Christmas stream. No. Goldbridge doesn't fly in a private plane. When I went with Ryanair to Dublin, for years now, I've never got on a plane where it's a free-for-all for a long time. You used to do it on Ryanair about 10 years ago, but even Ryanair now, you have a designated seat. I've not been on a plane for years where you don't have a designated seat. Cooking with Goldbridge will be back as soon as my kitchen's ready. And driving with Goldbridge would probably be back if I wasn't doing my FC26 career mode, because I haven't got anywhere to put it. Jumbo says, the real pet peeve is those who just sit on the chair without asking me to move my bag. I had laptops and stuff in there and some guy just sat on it. Well, I'm glad, Jumbo. I'm really, really glad. Matthew says, where did you buy your kitchen from? Howden's. We're not at that stage, mate, at the moment. I can't remember where I bought my bloody kitchen from. We haven't even got the floor down yet. Free kick to England. 5 minutes to go to half time. Abdul says Bruno injured. Nah, he'd be fine. He never gets injured. Matt says, why is your kitchen taking so long? It seems like it's been months. It's because of the... we were advised to go for underfloor heating, which I think we've never had, and I think it's quite a good idea in the kitchen. It's not a very particularly big space, so, you know... And also you get rid of radiators, which can be quite, you know, space-consuming. But... you have to wait a certain period of time for the concrete and the screed to dry before you can put the tiles down. And it's just taken a while. I haven't had a roast dinner since the middle of July. Ooh. Anderson shoots wide. Early World Cup final prediction. Me, Spain versus Argentina. I'd love it to be England. I'd love it to be England. I'd love England to have won it under Southgate, even though I couldn't stand him. But, you know, I like Tuchel. I like a lot of these England players. I'd love England to win it. But Zuta says kitchen people are City fans. That's why it's slow. I don't know. I mean, Germany, I don't think they're ready for that. I think that Germany seems to be going through transition. Spain look very good. I'd love to see a South American side do well. Lovely ball. Oh, keeper's there. Very brave. CF26 says, if an earwig comes from the ear, where does the cockroach come from? It's very childish. Very, very childish. I'll tell you what, it's another annoying thing on a plane as well. Goal! How did that happen? How did that happen? 2-0 to England. I thought that was a replay of the Gordon goal. It's Harry Kane, I think. When last I looked, the keeper had it in his arms. They play out from the back. What are they doing? Good. What a finish by Harry Kane that is. Off his left foot as well. Yeah, good finish. He's on fire. He's on fire. I always said he was brilliant, Harry Kane. It's funny, I appreciate Harry Kane more now he's at Bayern Munich than I ever did at Spurs. I think it's because he was playing for Spurs. You know, doing it for Bayern Munich at the highest level, week in, week out, in a team that can basically buy the best and used to have Lewandowski. I think it's... I think he's a fantastic player. I really do. I really, really do. Oh yeah, talking about planes, by the way. You know another thing that annoys me. Now, I'm not going to apologise for this. When I went to New York in June, I went there to work. Kane! Good save by the keeper. I went there to do a couple of things. It was work related, and I ended up inadvertently in first class, and it was very good. Shout out to Virgin Airways. It was very, very enjoyable, and I didn't pay for it. It was done by the people who asked us to go over there. Even there, where you get loads of space anyway, there was somebody putting their luggage in my space above, and that annoys me as well. You know, when you're on the plane and you might have been finishing your pint, so you're not one of them knobheads who, when they say the plane's boarding and people have been queuing up for half an hour, you've got a bloody ticket. I don't understand that either. I don't understand that. Like, I was flying back from Dublin in March. It's about to be half time. Flying back from Dublin in March, and we got there on time, and we, went to the bar, had a drink. I went to the toilet, and somebody said, "Do you want another one?" I said, "Well, we're not boarding for 40 minutes. Yeah, we'll have another one." Went to the toilet, walked past our gate, and the queue was massive. I had a chuckle to myself, went and had a piss, went back, sat down, pint was there. I said, "You'll never guess what." And they did guess, which sort of ruined it a little bit. But I suppose we're in an airport. There's not a lot of topics that I could have seen. And I said, it's incredible, isn't it? That plane is not going to board for 40 minutes. The plane's not even landed yet. And they're queuing. There's a massive queue for it. And they've all got, it's half time, and they've all got a ticket with a seat number on it. What's that all about? What are you queuing for? To be first to a seat that's already yours. Anyway, could be a penalty here. Referee's going over for VAR. Crap run. Judge says, I agree, Mark. Couldn't appreciate Gerrard till he retired. Lloyd says, the overhead locker space is first come, first served. How is that a penalty? Giving it. Wow. How is that a penalty? That is mad. Absolutely mad. I mean, we'll run a poll on that. I don't think that's a penalty at all. I think it's... Especially when you look at... they should have had a penalty for Konza. Handball. Anyway, Harry Kane won't miss this. I don't know which way he'll go, because he can go either way, Kane. He's got a big lump on his head. Is that... It's not his normal forehead, is it? Yeah, he's so good at penalties. Not so good at celebrations. I think he should have a better celebration, really. He's one of the world's best strikers, but yeah. Look, why don't you think it's a penalty? Because that happens in every penalty box, every corner, and I always think it's a bit harsh when it gets given. But people who watch loud videos without headphones. Well, I'll finish my story. Right, 3-0 to England. We're cruising here. So anyway, people have been queuing up for 40 minutes before the plane arrives. I don't know why, because they've got a seat. We finish our beer, first boarding call. We get on the plane, and I've got one carry-on bag. Get to our seats where we're sitting as a 3. Open the overhead locker, absolutely rammed. Open the one opposite, absolutely rammed. Oh, absolutely rammed. I said to the steward, what's going on here? I didn't say it like that because I've got manners. I said, I can't put my bag anywhere. She has to go halfway down the plane to find somewhere. And I went, how's that going to work when I get off? She says, oh, you'll just have to wait for everyone else to get off. I said, I'm not doing that. As soon as the plane lands, I'm going to get up and run down there. She said, well, you can't because you've got to wait for your seatbelt to come off. I said, well, come on. The minute we land, I can hear the clicks. Get with it. She says, if you don't carry on, I can smell the alcohol on you. I'm going to call security and you won't be flying off. I was like, oh, God, what's going on? I made that bit up. But Paul says that's why you need to get on early. Yeah, well, you do now. It's the new thing, isn't it? You have to get on early because some twat will chuck their bag in your space. Evan Whelan says, people who watch loud videos without headphones. Oh. Mate, I've sold that one. I've said that one before. England 3-0 up at half-time here. We're having a bit of a chat whilst watching football, which is the traditional way to watch a watch-along when a game's not that enthralling, but it's good. Harry Kane showing his world-class quality again. Lovely goal by Anthony Gordon as well. England cruising here. Yeah, I think I've mentioned it before. I think it's a train issue more than a plane issue. I won't put up with it on a plane. You know, I won't put up with it on a plane because there's enough people to tell them to shut up. But on a train, you know what I love about, you know, I'm not just a moaner. You know what I love on a train? I love it whether it's 6 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. I love it when I'm on a train and I can see somebody laughing and I look over and they've basically got their little iPad or their little phone, headphones in, and they're watching something funny and they're laughing. I love that. I love that. I love it. I think, you know what, laughter is the best medicine. They don't realise that we can't see or hear what they're hearing and they're just getting lost in the moment. What I don't love is having to listen to what they're watching. That I do not love. I do not love that at all. And it happens a lot on the train, which is why, apart from your tickets, the most important thing you need on a train is headphones or earplugs or whatever they call them, iPods, because then it doesn't matter. You can silence prats who want you to listen to their music or their whatever shit they're watching, or sniffy. They're as bad. Sniffy really, really, really annoys me. Really annoys me. I used to have this thing when I was younger as well where I couldn't be in the company of people eating. I found it really irritating, and it came to a head once when I said to my mum, "You're eating like a pig. Shall I get you a trough?" I nearly got kicked out of the house for that. And looking back, I probably deserved it. But yeah, I had this real issue. I don't know what, it must be a condition where, yeah. I had it with somebody at work once as well. My problem is I don't say something quick enough. So I let it annoy me for a very long time to a point where you lose reason. I've always been like this. It's petulance, really. If something bothers you, you should tell the person straight away. Because if you let it go, you lose patience very, very quickly. I used to work with this person, and we were allowed to have earphones in, so people could listen to music and stuff like that. But I didn't like having my earphones in all the time. So a lot of the time I'd take them out. And this person used to sing, and they can't sing. And it annoyed me because I'd sort of take me. I was interested for a while because I'd be like, what the hell is... I'm really good. Like, if I walk past a radio, the first 2 beats, I know the song. And most of the time, I know the song. But with this woman, I couldn't figure out what she was singing. She was so out of tune and high pitched. It was terrible. I mean, if she was singing "Simply the Best" by Tina Turner, it'd be something like this. You'd be like, you wouldn't know that "Simply the Best," would you? So I'd play this game where I'd figure out what the song is, and then once I knew what the song was, I was just like, this is really irritating. And again, it got to a point where I tapped her on the shoulder, which is probably inappropriate. Probably should have sent her an email via the manager, you know, naming her in the correct term. But I tapped her on the shoulder and she said, "What?" And I went, "Can you stop singing, please, because you're killing cats." And I thought it would I thought it through, and I thought it would come across as quite comedic, but I said it very viciously. And anyway, needless to say, I had a complaint. I had loads of complaints. It's called misophonia, and I have it too, says Fan Reactions. There you go. J Batch says, "Hi Mark, I took a trip to London and was able to tour a branch of EPL venues. Are there any venues in the US you'd like to visit but haven't yet?" You did what? I took a trip to London and was able to tour a bunch of EPL venues. Do you mean football grounds? Does EPL venues mean football grounds? Are there any venues in the US you'd like to visit? There are cities in the US I would like to visit. Chicago, Vegas, San Francisco, LA. Yeah. 56% of you said it's not a penalty. 44% of you say it is. Thank you very much. We're doing pet hates as well. BZD says, I've booked a flight from Australia to Manchester to see United versus Villa in March. 25-hour journey with a layover in the UAE. Stay at home. Stay at home. I used to work with someone like that. He'd always get into work before all of us lot. And he'd walk in and he'd go, you should have stayed at home. And I think, oh, what a lovely way to start the day. What a lovely, positive way to start the day. Joe says he can see Latvia getting back into this. Good stuff. What games are you streaming this weekend, says Lucas. I will break the news to you now because I actually don't know, and I find it quite exciting because I've just switched off literally in relation to the return of football, because I think if you think about it too much, you know, you get depressed. So we've definitely got Bundesliga on Friday. What do we got? What do we got on Friday? Union Berlin against Mönchengladbach, live on the channel, kicking off the return to football. Ilias Ansa. He's the player to watch on Friday. 20 years of age, young striker, could be the next big thing. So Ansa watch on Friday night. Saturday, Forest against Chelsea, 12:30. We'll do that. And then Fulham against Arsenal at 5:30. We'll do that. 3 o'clock games. No, I won't do those. I'll do Fulham, Arsenal, and Forest, Chelsea. Sunday, obviously, Liverpool, Man United. And then next Tuesday night, Champions League, we've got Newcastle, Benfica, and Arsenal, Atletico Madrid. And then next Wednesday, I'm really looking forward to this, Frankfurt against Liverpool. Should be really good. Chelsea play Ajax as well. When are Spurs playing? Do they play... Is it 4 on a Tuesday and 2 on a Wednesday? Where are Spurs? Oh, Spurs play Monaco at 8 o'clock. Oh, that'd be good. Pogba. That's an interesting one to keep an eye on as well, Monaco, because they drew with City. Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. That'll be a good one. Vegas is amazing. I definitely recommend it, says Vicky. Hope you're doing very well, Vicky. Amiel, thanks for your super chat. Cristiano brace in the first half. The world is happy, says Rajaf. Great to see him still scoring goals. Good stuff. Is Pogba hasn't kicked a ball yet? Well, that could change. I know he's meant to be back soon. That could change. Linda says Ireland can't even beat Armenia. San Francisco's where it's at. I hate people who speed up at roundabouts as well. Yeah, that's a good one. We're talking pet hates. Yeah, well, it sort of started off because somebody said they hate it when people are late, and I thought they were having a dig at me because I am normally late for the United stand. But I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's age. I like to be late now. Like, if we're meeting for drinks, like, there's a set of lads that I normally drink locally with. I'm always late. If we're meeting at 8 o'clock and I'm walking and it's a 20-minute walk, I won't leave till 10 to 8. I like to be late. I love to be late now. I leave everything to the last minute. I'm just that sort of guy. But the stupid, hypocritical thing is, up until about 10 years ago, I'd be there 10 minutes early. It's like a flick of a switch. I used to always get annoyed. I'd be like, we're meant to be there at 7:30. We've got to be there at 20 past. And I went from being this person that liked to be 10 minutes early to be 10 minutes late. It's weird. Even when I first started doing the United Stand, I was like, it says it's an 8 o'clock show. It's 7:58, and I've still got to set the stream up. I'm going mad. Just what it is. It is what it is. So in defence of people who are late, I know I'm late and I don't care. Yeah, you know. I had a guy at school who hummed while he ate. Oh, Amiel, you know, I wouldn't be able to deal with it. It's like someone who slurps their tea. I also defend people who make noises when they sit down or take... I do it now. I'll take a sip of tea and go... That's better. That's just something that happens to you when you're over 35. You don't realise it. You're 34. It's the day of your birthday. You get a cup of tea in the morning. Normally, you have a drink of tea and you go... And then at 35, it's your birthday. You have that first sip of tea and you go... That's it, the spot. And then you start doing stuff like this as well. You get up and you go, oh, God. Oh. Well, you sit down and you go, okay. It just naturally happens when you hit 35. Who's your favourite comedian if you have one, says Vicky? I like the observational comedians. So, look, even stuff that would get me laughed at. Michael McIntyre I quite like. I used to really like Peter Kay. I like Ricky Gervais. The people who tell a story, I used to love Ben Elton. Yeah, I used to love Ben Elton years ago. And there's probably a lot of other people I've not watched, but they're just people that I've watched that I enjoy. Yeah. Imagine humming while you eat. Lovely stuff. Let's have a look at the chat. Oh, this is a good one. The walk and text people. Oh. Every day, mate. Every bloody day. Every day. If you go into the shop, you know, I just... And I've got to say, I've done it a couple of times. I always feel really bad. Like, you're walking along, someone's coming towards you, it's quite a thin pavement, and you're like, I don't know, I'm thinking about this way too much. It's like a computer game where you've got to dodge something. You know, like, what are they going to do? They're not going to look up, are they? They're like, you know, and they're all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. I also think people who live lives on their phones are very sad as well. Very, very sad. I've said it to my kids. Seb's banned from YouTube now. He should never have been on it in the bloody first place. But, you know, all he ever wanted to do was go on YouTube. And I'm like, that was a mistake. You're not doing that anymore. Unless you're watching United Stand, which is great for the algorithm, you're not. And it's probably partially my fault because we've got 4 TVs in our house and I just basically have them all on the United Stand all the time because I just think, well, it's messing. No, I'm only joking. How good is this front three? Henry, Romario and Luis Figo. Well, I can name a better front three. An all-time front three. I mean, KDB, it's not bad, Henry, Romario and Figo, but I'm going to give you a better one. Wait a minute. There we go. Giggs, R9 and Ronaldo. Ronaldo, Messi and Henry, says D92. Yeah. Vicky Scott hates people who are ordering food but then don't know what they want. Oh, have you ever been out in a situation where, like, you're not with people that you're totally comfortable with, so you won't tell them to hurry up? Might be a business lunch, might be, you know, family members that you don't know that well or friends, and you're bloody starving and you know what you want, and then you're with somebody who's just literally going, can we have another 5 minutes? And then you're like, fucking hell, I'm ready. And then they'll start talking about what they did on the plane or whatever like that, and then the waitress will come back, or the waiter will come back, and they'll go, can I have another 5 minutes? And you feel like going, You're not even fucking looking at it. You're sending her away for 5 minutes and then you're gobbing off again about something that's nothing to do with the menu. Look at the menu, figure out what you want, shut up. We'll probably talk about something better and then we can order some bloody food. You selfish shit. Obviously, that's all in my head. But yeah, I think you're spot on, Vicky. And I've been in that situation. Ronaldo, Rooney and Beckham. What a front three that would be, says Josh Burke. Tell you what. Wouldn't be bad, Josh. Do you like pineapple on pizza, says Dylan? I do. I do. I really do. I'm sure I'll bring Rashford on at some point. I'd like to see Morgan Rogers do a little bit more. I think he's... I like the way he runs past Kane, and I think that's really important. If you're going to play Kane, you've got to have a number 10 that runs past him. And this is what worries me a little bit about England into the World Cup. Because the press will demand Bellingham or Palmer, but will Palmer and Bellingham run past Kane? Because if you're not going to run past Kane as a number 10, it's problematic. You've got to have a number 10 that will run past him. And I think Morgan Rogers does that really well. And that was the problem we had in the Euros. People like Phil Foden don't suit this system. People go, oh, where's Phil Foden? Honestly, Phil Foden doesn't suit this system. He doesn't. You need quick flair players wide, like Saka, Madueke, Rashford, Gordon, and you need number 10s that are mobile and going to run past Kane. Well, Phil Foden's none of them things. So, as good as Phil Foden is, and he's a very good player, he don't suit this system. And the problem England have had for years is they just stick a load of good players together, but they don't think about the system. My biggest pet hate are people that stop in the middle of the pavement and you have to try and avoid them. Why can't they just move over to the side, says Amir. It's a fair point. Ireland are still 0-0 with Armenia. Italy are beating Israel, which is a big game for them. And they are leading there. Goal scored by Ratue. Penalty. Italy, I love Italy, but they're very, very boring international level. Turkey beating Georgia 3-0. Yildiz scored the first. He'll go somewhere good. Spain are beating Bulgaria. Marino. Portugal we know. Ronaldo. Is there any games tomorrow, Mark? There are games tomorrow. Just in relation to the Premier League, of course. We're hitting Wednesday. No. I think they're all over tonight, aren't they? Because it's... I'd be very surprised if there's any games tomorrow. Because everyone will be needing to get back. No, there's no games tomorrow. There's games in the early hours. No, I think everybody's done. Brazil played today against Japan. Lovely. I hate prats who drive fast in a car park, says CJ. People drive fast everywhere. That is, yeah, people do drive way too fast, like in built-up areas. Like, there's a zebra crossing right outside Seb's school, which is actually probably quite common. And the amount of people who speed down there and then don't stop, it's like, you can't get more of a moron than that. You're literally outside of a school. It's a 20 outside of school, 20 miles an hour. And they'll be doing 30, 35, and they won't stop. And you just think, you're literally going to go to prison if you hit a kid. Idiots. What are you in so much of a fucking rush for? Really annoys me. Football-related pet peeve. Pundits' obsessive use of the words in terms of it's maddening, or at the end of the day. Rate this midfield. Zidane, Cruyff, Busquets. Well, I can't rate Cruyff, KDB, because it's before my time. Zidane and Busquets would be good. Yeah. Electric scooters are dangerous, Wayne. When I was in Mallorca a few years ago, there's like this... you can walk all along the beach on these like wide concrete paths. Everybody does it in the evening. And the last time I went to Mallorca was when these electric scooters were really kicking off, and people just whiz along on them. And you're probably not going to get killed by one, but it's going to bloody break your neck. Or not your neck, your leg. Yildiz plays for Juventus. Yes, Gary. I'll tell you what I've got. I haven't shown anybody that yet. Had to get it. I've not worn it yet. Look at that. I actually really like it. I don't care what you say, I do. Yeah, Tizzy, I'm not stopping doing Bundesliga games, so swivel on it. Jack hates people that are in front of him in a queue and haven't decided what they want at a restaurant or a takeaway. George and Arthur want to shout out? Yeah, I think we're a very impatient society, aren't we? I couldn't disagree. Tell you what, it's going to be interesting with this England side, though. Who do you think's coming in? Like, realistically, who do you think's coming in? He has started to build a first 11 in the short time he's been there, and we are getting better and better. I mean, it was some shit results in the summer, wasn't it? I mean, who did we lose to in the summer? But I think he's got a bit of a thing going on, and you know, Declan Rice is in the team, Kane's in the team, Saka's in the team. I'm surprised it's not Gehi, but it looks like he wants Konza and John Stones, doesn't it? Unless he's rotating Gehi tonight, I don't know. I think the number 10's up for grabs. I don't think it will be Morgan Rogers as much as I'd like it to be somebody who can run past him. I think it will end up being Bellingham, which could be good, could be bad. Latvia are in here. Great tackle, Konza. Great tackle, Konza. What a tackle. You got to get that right. What's going on with Sancho? I've seen loads of stuff about Sancho today and I've got no idea what it is. He's got a new haircut. Moreno scores again. Yeah, I think Cole Palmer and Jude Bellingham, they won't both come into this team, by the way, but you'd think one of them will. Trent doesn't seem to be able to get a place in the England team. I think the left back is up for grabs as well. But look, that's good going into a World Cup. You want competition for places. Have you ever clapped when a plane lands, says Kevin? No, and I never bloody will. I'm not against people that want to do it. Look, I tell you what, if I was in a plane where I needed to clap, I'll clap the pilot. But, you know, nonsense. It's just doing his job. Also, I think if you clap something, the alternative has to be, like, you have to clap every single time then, because the alternative isn't worth thinking about. What do you think is your most famous clip, says Sam? I'd like to think it's the one of the FIFA ones because they're my favourites. The one where it wasn't over the line, or I did like the one where was it somebody's dead dog, and I legitimately scored at one of the best goals I've scored on FIFA, and I sort of got lost in the moment. I'd like to think it's one of those, but I suspect it might be something else. 3-0 to Palace, I just don't get. I've never understood that one. Like, loads of people have said to me, I love the 3-0 to Palace clip. And I'm like, I watch it and I go, I don't get that. That's just me having a chat. I don't get that. Like, I understand the ones I've just mentioned there, but the Palace one is not my comedy, so I don't really get it. Pet hate people going on holiday, unfair. Thank you, KDB. I hate people who sit next to a bag on a busy train. We've done that one, Matthew, and you're spot on. Tizzy says, only kidding, love your content. Thanks, pal. Good play by Spence. Headed away. The clip I see most of you is the corner one, says 1080p. I'm glad Onana left United. That was getting on my nerves a little bit. Pratt, man, I did find it funny, but I was also aware that that's a Man United goalkeeper, and I was like, it's the Man United goalkeeper. It's the starting Man United goalkeeper. If it was the Liverpool goalkeeper, I'd be like, yeah, this is great, but I am a Man United fan, and I was like, what a cross that is. And it's gone in. I tell you what, it almost deserved to go in because the cross from Spence was so good. He's very unlucky, the Latvian player, but it's an OG, and but the cross is very good by Spence here. How do you pronounce his name? Sig Anix. Look at this cross by Jed Spence. Look at the curl on it. Beckham-esque. Well, keeper probably it's defensively shit, actually. Keeper, it's almost like he heard me say, Pratt, man, what's he doing? Yeah, they've made a right mess of that. Keeper comes out like Pratt, man, misses it, and then it hits the defender and goes in. Mark, what about the one where your wall falls down? Oh, you know what, Eves, though? People think that's scripted. People thought the guy with the knife in Mallorca was scripted. Like, 4-0 yet? Oh, here he comes. Here comes his bloody mate, look. Jordan Henderson. Get out. Oh, I tell you what, I'd like England more if he wasn't in the squad. He annoys the shit out. I don't know what it is about Jordan Henderson. Probably because he played for Liverpool. But he shouldn't be anywhere near the fucking England team. Ezzy's on. Bowen's on. You know what I mean, though? Like, Henderson coming on for half an hour in an England shirt. That could be Adam Wharton. And that's actually worthwhile. Rashford's not on yet. I'm sure he will come on, but he's not on yet. I love the clip where you slip on the balcony in Mallorca. I haven't seen that clip in years, Kevin. Which player could you take in a fight, says Mr. Wars? I'm not a violent person. I don't believe in solving your problems through violence. Corner to England. Are we ever going to hear the Man City outcome, says Vicky? I heard something about it being this month, but I don't know. I think the whole Man City thing just feels like it's gone off the boil. It's like you've lost interest in it. Not you, Vicky. I mean, I've lost interest in it. But you'd feel with something like that, you'd get an indication as well. I can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around which way that's going to go because I can't imagine it's been kept quiet for so long. So, I don't know. I think, you know what I think it will be? There'll be some sort of punishment, but it'll be tame. You know, and then I think we'll all look at it and go, why did you bother? I think the Premier League will come out of it and everyone will go, why did you bother? There'll be some sort of agreement, I think. I love Hammer Horrors, says Carlo. I don't think I've ever watched one. Could be 5. No, good block. Can we get you on the celebrity traitors next year, says Matthew. Well, that's sad to hear, mate. Let's see what happens, says KDB. I don't know what you were talking about there. Thank you. Hi, Mark. Do you think Mason Greenwood should be considered for the squad? He's been exceptional. I thought he was playing for Jamaica, Haas. I thought he chose to play for Jamaica. I don't know. I don't think he will get chosen for England. I've never watched Traitors in my life, by the way. So, would you like to see an African country win the World Cup? Says Mr. Wars. I mean, why not? You know, I think I'd love to see Japan win it, but they won't. Ashley says, how likely is it that you'd find an England game exciting? Mate, I don't know what happened to international breaks, but when I grew up, qualifiers used to be quite interesting. I remember, I don't know whether it was to qualify for Euro 92 or World Cup 1990, but we had to go to Poland and get a result. I remember that game qualifying for World Cup 98 where we went to Rome and drew 0-0 against Italy. It was a really good game. Beckham and Ince. Ince had the injured head. They're just so boring now. The qualifiers are so boring. Ezzy! Oh, good save by the keeper. He got down well. Gordon's gone down again here, looking for a pen. They might we might get a pen. Which now dead manager would you enjoy a chat with? Says Chris. It's got to be Brian Clough. I still watch interviews of him on YouTube anyway. I think he was just such a character. Search corner clip. Mark Goldbridge says 1080. P. What, on YouTube? I can't even think what this is. I can't see it, mate. Did you ever watch Dream Team? No, Sam. I'm with it. Anderson. Oh, clear it away. Not long left now, people. Premier League pending, says Tom McBride. Hope you're well, Mark. Great shows here, plus United stand as ever. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Somebody was trying to say that Bruno was injured about half an hour ago, but he's just gone off, subbed, so I don't think he's injured. Very unlucky. Very unlikely, sorry. When's FC 26 back? Maybe tomorrow. No, it won't be tomorrow. Don't get people excited. Keep it real. How many fillings have you got? First after braces. Oh, I've got loads of fillings, mate. Loads. And there's a, you know, good reason to brush your teeth and look after your teeth, because I've got loads of fillings, because I used to eat loads of sweets and drink loads of fizzy drinks. And that's why I've got loads. Sorry, I was just checking something there. I think the best ref was Kalina, says Vicky Scott. Yeah, definitely. Favourite chicken dish, says Dale. I've got to say, I do prefer chicken these days to red meat. I used to always prefer steak and burgers. Oh, good shot by Latvia, just wide. I'm going to go to another pet hate here. No, that's a bit boring. I'm just reading some of the chat here, trying to find a good pet peeve. I do like that one. The just going to stand here person. Yeah. So yeah, this happens to me a lot when I go into a supermarket. I know what I want. It actually happened to me today. As boring as it sounds, I know where the fish cakes are in the supermarket, and I wanted to get some fish cakes. And I looked up the aisle, and I could see a couple, I'm not going to say how old they were, old people, stood right in front of them at the top of the aisle. So I thought, well, I want milk. So I'll go to the next aisle, walk up, get the milk, circle round. That's where the fish cakes are. And I thought, by the time I've done that, they'll be gone. And they were still fucking there. And then I walked down there, and there was two of them, and you couldn't get, and I didn't have my glasses on, so I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew they were there. And you're sort of waiting around going, move, move, move. Best clip was the selling fruit, says Jaden. Yeah, you wanga. Kill Thomas says, my pet hate is poverty and famine. Yeah, that's not a pet hate, mate. That's just a sad state of affairs. Oh, Jumbo, I'm with you on this, brother. People who you let in and they don't say thank you. Also, Mark, what are your thoughts on people who stay in lane despite it closing and wait till the last second to push in? I don't mind that. I don't mind that, because I actually read that that's actually correct. When we went down to Southampton the other week, there was a road, there was 2 lanes into one, and loads of people were queuing. And then we went down the road until the very end, and at the front, people always let you in. So I actually think it flows better if you use both lanes to the end, because people naturally let people in. But I think people misunderstand it and think that as soon as you see the road's going to close, you have to get over, and then that just causes a massive queue. Yeah, but I don't like people who don't say thank you when you let them in. I've done it at the pub before. I've seen someone come in walking out of the door. I've opened it and held it, and they've just walked out, continued talking. I think, fucking hell. You really... I think if you're not brought up with manners, it's just not in their vocabulary to say thank you or appreciate, you know, saying it to people. Um, I hate how the world is run and how everyone wants your money, says Who to Blame. Start, bench, sell, snooker, darts or golf, says Jamie. Yeah, I'll start snooker, I'll bench darts and I'll sell golf. Not stacking plates after a meal at a restaurant, says Matthew Lunn. What, is that our job? What? I've never done that in my life. So when I've had my dinner at a restaurant, I'm meant to get all the plates and stack them together. I'll put my hands up, and I'm a man with manners, but I never knew that was my job. Matthew says it's just polite. I didn't know you meant to do that. So if you're at a table of 4 and you finish your dinner, you're meant to put your plates on top of each other for them. I've never done that. I've never known anybody do that. People who cross at a zebra crossing at the last minute, says Mr. Watts. I don't do that. Fucking hell. You're taking your life into your own hands in the UK if you just... I don't think people in the UK understand what a zebra crossing is. I think they think it's optional if you're in a car. You know, fair play to the people who stand at a zebra crossing and start walking. I mean, I don't do that anymore. I'm looking at both cars both ways and making sure they're slowing down before I walk, because trust me, there's so many times where people just ignore it now. It's not worth worth being dead for. Biggest Euro winner upset, Denmark or Greece? I think the way Denmark did it, coming off the beach, taking over from Yugoslavia, that was impressive. But then again, Greece winning that tournament, there was some bloody good teams in it, was impressive as well. Good question, Simon. Dan says, pet hate when people watch their phone in public environments loudly or phone calls on speaker. Well, I've told you that story before. I was on the way to London last year. The morning train, about 20 to 7. It was 20 to 8. Absolutely packed. And there's a guy on his phone. I think he was a builder. And he's having a full-blown argument, but also telling everybody all his details as well. You know, it was hilarious. Ireland have scored. Get in. I think they have anyway. I'm going by the chat. They have scored, and Armenia have only got 10 men. And it was Evan Ferguson who scored before that. Is Evan Ferguson doing well at Roma? That's the real question. Pet hate, people who crack their knuckles. Do people still do that, Amir? I never could, so otherwise I'd start doing it. Plus, when you get to my age, you don't want to be, you know, assisting arthritis. Movie Montage says, have you got Irish in you, Mark? No, but I've been in Irish because I had an Irish girlfriend. No, I lived there for 3 years. Oh, what a save by the keeper, Harry Kane. To be honest with you, I could have Irish in me. I have never looked at my family tree, and I'm very, you know, I don't think anybody is English in any great depth. I'm very doubtful that if I looked at my family tree on both sides, I'd go back 200 years and it'd still be English. I might do it one day, actually. I'm quite interested in history. But no, I lived in Ireland I moved to Ireland in 1999 because I was there for the Champions League final, and I moved back in 2002. So I was there for exactly about 3.5 years. I was there, and it was a great time. Great time. Robert says my biggest pet peeve is feminists. Oh, mate, if we're going down that route, I'd get cancelled, but I have a few pet hates about modern society. None of them are an ism. That would be wrong, but you can get cancelled for anything now. You can get cancelled for having an opinion that's actually legal these days. I just can't be asked to do it. Get cancelled for having different politics to people these days. Song says that chatter hates women. I love that. I love that Ricky Gervais one. How can I hate women? My mum's one. I'm directly descended from King Edward III by DNA, says 1080p. Was he? I don't know who King Edward III was. Pet hate, brain rot language like skibbity and Riz, says Dan Hastings. I've done that one. Nick P says, I hate that you have to pay extra now for things that used to be part of the deal. Delivery, priority delivery, Uber priority, bloody cheek. Well, you know what I hate in a football sense? I hate it when I'm on X and I'll see an article from like the Telegraph or the Guardian or the Times, and I'll go, oh, I want to read that, and then I'll click it, and it'll go, subscribe, and I'll go, no. Because it's like, I want to read it, but I don't want to pay for it. And it's not like people go, wow, you know, they're journalists, you know. No, it's not like, it's sort of like, you know, when I finish the morning show on the United Stand and I go and get a cup of coffee and I sit back down and I go onto X and then I'm like, I'm having a cup of coffee. And I'll go, oh, that'd be nice to read while I have a cup of coffee. And then I'll click on it and it will say subscribe. And I'll go, no, I'll just read about Harry Potter on Wikipedia. You know, I don't want to pay. It's not that I'm not desperate to read it. I just would read it. And paywall, yeah, I don't believe in paywalls, if I'm being completely honest. We've dabbled with it a little bit on the United Stand where we've put like the live shows behind it. But yeah. Amazon Prime's a prime example. I should have said Amazon is a prime example. Missed opportunity there. But I started watching. I like Amazon Prime. You get some good films on there. Next day delivery, bit of sport, and I've always liked Amazon Prime. And then about 6 months ago, I'm watching a film, and it goes to ads. I'm like, I'm already paying you. I'm paying you a monthly bloody subscription, and now you're putting fucking ads on. You cheeky bastards. I think that you're right. You're absolutely right. ITVX, BBC iPlayer. If I don't watch Question Time, I can go on iPlayer and I can watch it. If I miss something on ITV, I don't know what, and oh God, ads that you can't skip. 2 minutes of ads. I tell you what, iPlayer is good. You can say what you like about the BBC, but iPlayer is good. You've got all of the Detectorists are on there, all of the Office is on there. Still Game. It's good. You get ads on Disney now as well. It's you shouldn't pay a subscription and then have ads. I'm surprised Netflix haven't done it yet. Harry says Cold Water on ITV. Was that good? Early Doors is on iPlayer as well. I used to love that. I love Phoenix Nights. You can't watch it anywhere, Jack. It pisses me off. I'd love to watch Phoenix Nights again. You can only watch it if you've got a Blu-ray or a DVD player, and I haven't got either. Uh, 10 minutes to go here anyway. The real chat, the real winner's been the chat. Biggest done that one as well. Netflix does have ads as well. Well, I must be paying for not having them then. And I didn't ask for that. Yeah, they don't have the full episodes of Phoenix Nights on YouTube though, do they? It's just outtakes. Actually, I would just like to watch them all again. And Max and Paddy. He's a weird one, Peter Kay. He is a weird one. I like Still Game, yeah. No, Peter Kay's weird. Like, I don't agree with that. He basically doesn't let his TV series go on to demand because he feels that it cheapens his, you know, I can't remember the reason for it, but there's a reason why he doesn't do it. And I'm like, if you create something, it's for everybody. Keeping control of your own creative is it's a bit like the Beatles releasing an album and then going, we're not going to allow it to be on the radio. We're only going to release it on vinyl. It's just like, let people watch it. I tell you what, KDB says pet hate, cinema date, you can't talk to each other. But don't take them on a cinema date. I would never do a first date at a cinema. It'd be really weird. I tell you what I hate about cinemas is the fact that if like you're going to the cinema tonight and you're going to watch a film at 10 o'clock, you know it doesn't start till 10:30. You know, all my life you're getting half an hour of ads and promos. And that's fine, but if you live a busy life, like we went to watch Downton Abbey, the grand finale last week, me and the missus, and it was listed as 1:20, and we had to pick Seb up from school at 4:30. And the missus said, well, the film's 2 hours, so we'll be finished at 3:20. And I went, well, we won't be finished at 3:20, will we? Because there'll be half an hour of ads and promos, so the film won't start till 1:50. And by the time we get out of the car park, it will be like 4:10. So, you know. Who's your dark horse for the World Cup, says Alfie. There is never going to be a dark horse that wins the World Cup. Unfortunately, we won't get a dark horse winning the World Cup because I think it's so hard. To win a World Cup, you need a squad of 20 really good players. Therefore, it will be France, England, Spain, Germany, Brazil, Argentina. One of those 6 will win it. Even if you found a country like a Turkey or a Norway or whatever who've got 5 or 6 good players, they won't have the depth. They won't have the depth across the whole tournament. I'd love to see a Mexico or a Colombia or an Austria or someone like that do it, but they just won't have it across the tournament. Portugal have got a lot of depth, yeah. I nearly threw the Netherlands in as well, but yeah. Customer service representatives are the worst, says Who to Blame. Jemba says, do you like pineapple as that's the second time tonight? Yes. Rashford's desperate to get a goal, isn't he? Well done, Bowen. Well done, Ezzy. Could have squared that first time. Doesn't need to. He's going to go himself. Doesn't need to. I'll tell you what, that bodes well for Arsenal, doesn't it? Really does. It bodes well for England. I mean, we've seen Anthony Gordon do a similar thing in the first half. Obviously, Rashford's doing well at Barcelona. Ezzy. I mean, you know, the biggest problem Tuchel's going to have is building the team around Harry Kane. And to build a team around Harry Kane, you've got to have quick players that run past him. Ezzy, Gordon, Saka, Rodgers, Rashford. These, you know, it can't be Foden. Cole Palmer could do it as well. But you've got to have players that want to run past Harry Kane. And I think, again, we've seen that with Ezzy. Jay says, is Saka playing? I haven't heard him once. They have kept Saka quite quiet. He's not on anymore. He went off for Bowen, but Saka's going to be a very important player. For me, someone like Saka is... it's not massively important for me with Saka because we know what the quality is. I'd rather see people like Eze and Rodgers and Anderson thriving. As I said in the first half, if England are going to win the World Cup, it won't be Harry Kane and Saka and Rice and Stones who win us the World Cup. It'll be the likes of Anderson and Eze and Gordon and Gehi and players like that. We're going to need 9 or 10 players across the tournament. Yeah. Mark says England are getting revenge for ice hockey games against Latvia. I like this comment from Isaac. He says the problem Tuchel will have is having the balls to go for the Bowens, the Gordons and the Ezes instead of the Fodens, the Palmers and the Bellinghams. Can't be choosing big names of players that don't fit the system. The problem will be the press. The English press is, well, I think it's predominantly shit anyway. But when it comes to England, it's even worse. And they will make a big moaning about... They'll start moaning about Grealish again. They'll start moaning about Bellingham. They'll start moaning about Foden. And, you know, if they don't suit the system, don't pick them. Like, at some point, a journalist has to understand that if you want to see England win a major trophy, you've got to learn about football. And if you don't want to learn from the past, learn from the present. PSG spent a decade trying to win the Champions League. And it got to a point where they had a front three of Neymar, Mbappe and Messi. And they couldn't win it. They get rid of all three. They build a system. And they win it. And it's going to be the same for England. You don't necessarily pick all of your best players. You pick the best players that suit the system. Which host nation do you think will go far? I don't know, Matthew. I mean, I thought Canada looked all right in the last World Cup. I don't know how good USA are. And Mexico, I don't know how good they are. Itchy nose. Well, anyway, I have thoroughly enjoyed the stream with you tonight. I mean, it's always a question mark whether to do it in the international break, but I just think, you know, sometimes it's just nice to have a good old chat with the football as a backdrop. So big up to everybody for getting involved. I've really enjoyed it. Sam says the US have lost nearly every game under Poch. I have seen the Cornetto trilogy. It's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. Be a good manager market in the summer when you think about it. Be a few national team coaches on looking for jobs. I think Pochettino after the World Cup will be back. Nagelsmann could be. What are your next watch-alongs? Friday night Bundesliga, Saturday lunchtime Chelsea Forest, Saturday tea time Fulham Arsenal, Sunday Liverpool United. FC26. I'd like to think it'll be tomorrow, but I don't think it will. But keep an eye out. Do you think Cole Palmer and Harry Kane can work in the same team? I think Cole Palmer's got the pace to move past Kane. Foden hasn't. Bellingham, I'm 50-50. Whoever plays in the number 10 role has to run past Harry Kane. Full time. Thanks everyone who's watching. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Really enjoyed it tonight. And basically real football's back now, isn't it? Take care everyone. Stay safe. Don't forget we'll have the Bundesliga, all the goals from the Bundesliga week before the international break to get us back in the mood. That'll be coming up very, very soon as well. Stay safe. Thanks for spending your time with me tonight. And I'll speak to you in a bit. Take care.